Shalom and welcome to the Daily Torah reading. We're in Shemot, or also known as Exodus. We are in chapter 20. So let's read along with me. Shemot, chapter 20. Yahweh spoke all these words, saying, I, Yahweh, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods besides me. You shall not make yourself a sculptured image, or any likeness in what is in heaven above, or on earth below, or in the waters underneath the earth. You shall not bow down to them, or serve them, for I, Yahweh, your God, am an impatient God, visiting the guilt of the parents upon the children, upon the third and upon the fourth generation of those who reject me, but showing kindness to the thousandth generation of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not swear falsely by the name of Yahweh, your God, for Yahweh will not clear one who swears falsely by his name. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but in the seventh day is a Shabbat to Yahweh your God. You shall not do any work, you, your sons or your daughters, your male or female slaves, or your cattle, or the stranger who is within your settlements. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, and sea, and all that is in them, and he rested on the seventh day. Therefore Yahweh blessed the Shabbat day, and hallowed it. Honor your father and mother, that you may be long and endure in the land that Yahweh your God is assigning to you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female slave, or his ox, or his ass, or anything that is your neighbor's. All the people witnessed the thunder and lightning, the play of the shofar, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they fell back and stood at a distance. You speak to us, they said to Moshe, and we will obey. But let not Yahweh speak to us, lest we die. Moshe answered the people, Be not afraid, for Yahweh has come only in order to test you, and in order that the fear of him may be ever with you, so that you do not go astray. So the people remained at a distance while Moshe approached the thick cloud where Yahweh was. Yahweh said to Moshe, Thus shall you say to the Israelites, You yourselves saw that I spoke to you from the very heavens. 20. With me, therefore, you shall not make any gods of silver, nor shall you make for yourself any gods of gold. Make for me a mizpah of earth, and sacrifice on it a burnt offering and sacrifices of well-being, your sheep and your oxen, in every place where I cause my name to be mentioned. I will come to you and bless you. And if you make for me a mizpah of stone, do not build it of whole stone, for by wielding your tool upon them you have profaned them. Do not ascend my mizpah by steps, that your nakedness may not be exposed upon it. Chapter 21. These are the rules that you shall set before them when you acquire a Hebrew slave, they shall serve 6 years. In the 7th year he shall go free without payment. If he came single, he shall leave single. If he had a wife, his wife shall leave with him. If his master gave him a wife, and she has borne him children, the wife and her children shall belong to the master, and he shall leave alone. But if the slave declares, I love my master and my wife and children, I will not wish to go free. If his master shall take him before Yahweh, he shall be brought to the door or the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall then remain his slave for life. When a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not be freed as male slaves are. If she proves to be displeasing to her master, who designated her for himself, he must let her be redeemed. He shall not have the right to sell her to outsiders, since he broke faith with her. And if he designates her for his son, he shall deal with her as is the practice with free maidens. 10. If he marries another, he must not withhold from this one her food or clothing or her contractual rights. But if he fails her in those 3 ways, she shall go free without payment. He who fatally strikes a man shall be put to death. If he did not do it by design, but it came about by act of Yahweh, I will assign you a place to which he shall flee. When a man schemes against another and kills him treacherously, he shall take him from my very Mizpah to be put to death. He who strikes his father or his mother shall be put to death. He who kidnaps a man, whether he has sold him or is still holding him, shall be put to death. He who insults his father or his mother shall be put to death. When men quarrel and one strikes the other with stone or fist, and he does not die, but has to take to his bed, if he then gets up and walks outdoors upon his staff, the assailant shall go unpunished, except that he must pay for his idleness and his curse and his cure. 20. When a man strikes his slave, male or female, with a rod, and he dies there and then, he must be avenged. But if he survives a day or 2, he is not to be avenged, since he is the other's property. When men fight and one of them pushes a pregnant woman and miscarriage results, but no other damage ensures, the one responsible shall be fined according as the woman's husband may exact from him the payment to be based on reckoning. But if other damages ensure, the penalty shall be life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruise for bruise. When the man strikes the eye of a slave, male or female, and destroys it, he shall let him go free on account of his eye. If he knocks out his tooth of his slave, male or female, he shall let him go free on account of his tooth. When an ox goes a man or a woman to death, the ox shall be stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox is not to be punished. If, however, the ox has been in the habit of going, and its owner, though warned, has failed to guard it, and it kills a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner, too, shall be put to death. 30. If a ransom is laid upon him, he must pay whatever is laid upon him to redeem his life. So too, if it goes a minor, male or female, the owner shall be dealt with according to the same rule. But if the ox goes a slave, male or female, he shall pay 30 shekels of silver to the master, and the ox shall be stoned. When the man opens a pit or digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or an ass falls into it, the one responsible for the pit must make restitution. He shall pay the price to the owner, but shall keep the dead animal. When a man's ox injures his neighbor's ox and he dies, they shall sell the live ox and divide its price. They shall also divide the dead animal. If, however, it is known that the ox was in the habit of going and his owner has failed to guard it, he must restore ox for ox, but shall keep the dead animal. When a man steals an ox or a sheep and slaughters it or sells it, he shall pay 5 oxen for the ox and 4 sheep for the sheep. This concludes the daily reading of Torah. May Yah bless you and keep you. May He shine His light upon you. May He fill you with His Ruach HaKodesh. In Yeshua's name, Amen. Until tomorrow, for daily Torah reading, Shalom.